Hello, welcome to Sunday quiz number 4, week 4 of my Sunday quiz, and apologies for the state of my lockdown here. Yeah, I could, put some wax in it, I suppose, but I can't be bothered. It's a Sunday. Anyway, right, okay, 20 questions this week, a mixture of TV and film. I can't remember how I've structured it this week. 20 questions, take you about 10 minutes, pause me as we go. If you need more time, not more time, to check Google, and off we go. Question 1. Tough one to start with. What's the name of Shrek's wife? What's the name of Shrek's wife? Question 2, a similar theme. What's the name of Sherlock's brother in Sherlock? It's the BBC Sherlock. What's the name of Sherlock's brother? Slightly more difficult than the first one. Question 3. From which film is the line, "I see dead people"? So from which film is the line, "I see dead people"? Question 4. Where was the TV show Inspector Morse set? Where was the TV show Inspector Morse set? And I won't accept England as an answer, be more specific. Question 5. What was Frasier's job in Frasier? And you need to be specific here. What was Frasier's job in Frasier? Question 6. Sam Mendes won the Oscar for Best Director in 1999 for what film? Sam Mendes won the Oscar for Best Director in 1999 for what film? Question 7. Tough one, this. What does NCIS stand for? What does NCIS stand for? Now, I've watched a few of these NCISs. I still don't have a clue what it stood for. But I thought, what does it stand for? So I looked it up, and now I'm asking you lot. So what does NCIS stand for? Question 8. Who is the youngest of the Stark children in Game of Thrones? Who is the youngest of the Stark children in Game of Thrones? I suppose at this point, the score to beat is actually 13. And the person who did this quiz is a big Games of Thrones fan who got this one wrong. I've never watched it, so... who is the youngest of the Stark children in Game of Thrones? Question 9. What does TARDIS stand for? As in from Doctor Who. What does TARDIS stand for? Satisfying when you get that one. Question 10. Susan Sarandon and Gina Davis were both nominated for an Oscar in 1999, but for which film? So Susan Sarandon and Gina Davis were both nominated for an Oscar in 1991, but for which film? Question 11. That's not question 11, there's question 11. For which film did Sandra Bullock win her Oscar? So for which film did Sandra Bullock win her Oscar? Maybe not one of the more obvious films. Question 12. For what movie did Steven Spielberg win his first Oscar for Best Director? So for what movie did Steven Spielberg win his first Oscar for Best Director? I kind of should have titled this quiz the Oscar quiz. Quite a few Oscar questions. I didn't realise that. I was doing it. Okay, question 13. Tom Hanks' character Chuck Nolan was delivering parcels for which company when his plane crashed in the ocean in Castaway? Tom Hanks was working for which company delivering parcels in Castaway? Question 14. Luke's Diner is a popular hangout spot in which hit American series? Luke's Diner is a popular hangout spot in which American series? Right, here are some anagrams, 3 of them, British TV shows. If there are 2 words on the screen, then there are 2 words in the answer, but not necessarily with the same number of letters corresponding. So for example, the first one, it isn't a 4-letter word followed by a 3-letter word. Okay, so pause the screen. I'm going to plough on, and 3 British TV shows, unscramble them. What are they? Okay, and some dingbats, film dingbats, I think. Name the film. It's an easy one, that. This is not an easy one. How about this one? Very satisfying. If you get it. And the last question, this quiz, question 20. This is a toughie. Possibly. Think laterally. That's not a clue. Right, okay. So pause, fill in the gaps, 20 questions, 13 to beat. Should be easy, he says. Right, on we go with the answers. What's the name of Shrek's wife? We're shouting out, yes, Fiona. What's the name of Sherlock's brother in Sherlock? Mycroft is his name. Question 3. From which film is the line, I see dead people? It is The Sixth Sense. Question 4. Where is the TV show Inspector Morse set? It was set, of course, in Oxford. Question 5. Now, be specific, detail. What was Fraser's job in Frasier? Psychiatrist isn't enough. It's a radio psychiatrist. Obviously, it was his job. A radio host doesn't give you the marks either. You need to be specific. A radio psychiatrist. Question 6. Sam Mendes won the Oscar Best Director in 1999. For what film? American Beauty. Classic. Even though it has got Kevin Spacey in it. What does NCIS stand for? Well done if you got this. Naval Criminal Investigative Service. You might have got Criminal Investigation Service or maybe National, but it's actually Naval Criminal Investigative Service, as I'm sure you can read. Question 8. Who is the youngest of the Stark children in Game of Thrones? It's Rickon. Okay, well done if you got that. What does TARDIS stand for? Well, time and relative dimensions in space. There you go. Brilliant if you got that. Big Doctor Who fan. Name the film. Susan Sarandon and Gene Davis were both nominated for an Oscar in 1999, but which film? It is, of course, Thelma and Louise. If you have not seen it, if it's before your time, watch it. It's brilliant. You get to see a young Brad Pitt in it also. I say young, but in the mid-20s, if that's the thing. Right, question 11. For which film did Sandra Bullock win her Oscar? Well, it's actually called The Blind Side from 2009. I haven't actually seen it. I've read about it, and now I am going to watch it on Sky On Demand or whatever it is. So you're watching that during the week. The Blind Side. Sounds good. Question 12. For what movie did Steven Spielberg win his first Oscar for Best Director? Is the harrowing Schindler's List. Brilliant film again. Well done if you got that. Question 13. Tom Hanks' character Chuck Nolan was delivering parcels for which company? Of course, it was FedEx. These old boxes washing up on the beach. Question 14. Luke's Diner is a popular hangout spot in which TV American series? I hit American series. I wouldn't have got this if I was being asked this question. It's Gilmore Girls. I've never watched it, but I know those who have. And these three, right? TV shows. The first one, Hellbit, is of course The Bill. No Who Sheet. Sounds a bit. Anyway, The One Show. Well done. And Oh Pot Soft Pep. Nothing to do with Man City. It is actually Top of the Pops. Okay, and finally, not finally, the final set. Name the film. There's a Little Short, and there's a Big Short, and there's the Big Short film from 2015. How about this one? James Bond, Jason Bourne, Jack Bauer, they are all kind of spies, and they're forming a bridge of spies. Well done if you got that. Question 20. Right, what have we got here? Watergate. That was a scandal, wasn't it? Watergate in American history. And what are they? They're notes, aren't they? So we got notes on scandal. Just in case you didn't know how to work it out in 2006. Right, there's your lot. Well done if you got more than 13. And check out the other Only Fools and Horses videos on there. We reached over 500 views. Ooh, fantastic. Anyway, I'm off to watch Arsenal probably lose again. Come on, the colours. Anyway, have a great week, guys. Stay safe and see you back next week. Bye now.